Due to technical difficulties, namely Tiny 11 being a big pain, and a failure of the creator to find the right driver for the P520, there will be no Tiny 11 video today. Or maybe ever. Instead, we bring you a look at several tiny Linux distributions. We will try to be smarter going forward.
It's time for everyone's favorite game show, Linux Love Connection. The game where we try to match up old computers with a new operating system. Now here is your host, Tim from E-Waysted.
Hello everyone and welcome to E-Waysted, a YouTube channel usually dedicated to finding new life and purpose for old computers and technology. But today, we're just looking for love. Yes, welcome to the first ever episode of Linux Love Connection, a show where we try to find the perfect operating system for an old business class machine. And today's Bachelorette contestant is an i3 second generation processor from about, I would say, 2011, 2012. She has 16 whopping gigs of Red Ripjaw DDR3 RAM and a Keikos class video card that I put in it to give her the most fighting chance of finding the operating system of her dreams. She enjoys emailing, spreadsheets, word processing, and a little remote data entry once in a while. Her idea of a crazy time is playing some solitaire while the boss is out of the office, or maybe shopping on Amazon for the grandkids on her lunch hour. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel, Claudia. Now, when I welcome Claudia to the channel, that's not true, because Claudia has been in every episode I've ever filmed. Because Claudia, since she is retired, has taken on a side job. Or should I say, side panel job. Yes, Claudia is the machine that I use to shoot the animation every week for E-Waysted. But I figure it's time to give her a little bit of love and see if we can make her a productive member of society again. And we're going to do that by doing a speed run, kind of like speed dating, but for operating systems. We are going to look at 4 lightweight Linux distributions today. We are going to look at Bodhi Linux, we are going to look at Linux Lite, we're going to look at MX Linux, and we're going to look at Linux Mint with the XFCE desktop. And we are going to give each of them 4 minutes of our time. That does not include updates. Every one of them is going to get a fighting chance because we're going to do a full round of updates first. Then we will run a couple of benchmarks, but really the key here is, how does it feel? Is it snappy? Does it run YouTube well? We're just going to do a little kick of the tires. Whichever one we think runs best is going to be the one that ends up on Claudia. So let's go ahead and see if we can find Claudia her new true love and a way to be productive in 2025. Okay. So before I get started on all of this, let's talk a little bit about how I'm going to do the testing. Because originally I was thinking about doing benchmarks, and I'm not doing benchmarks. I don't care what the Fibonacci number score is for any of these machines. What I care about is things like graphic performance and kind of is the operating system sluggish? How long does it take to open Office? Just stuff like that. So those are going to be my tests. Oh, and I'm also going to do a reboot test to see how long it takes to actually go from the reboot button to a login screen. Just to kind of get a feel for how heavy these distributions are in comparison with each other. And our first candidate is MX Linux. Now, when I move the window around the screen, it doesn't seem jittery. It seems pretty smooth. It doesn't feel like there's any real hesitation. So that's a good sign that I think this thing is doing okay. Let's take a look at YouTube here real quick. Let's see how well it plays the E-Waysted video here. Is super important technology. My name is Tim, and today we're covering a topic I really didn't expect to be covering.
I think this looks pretty good, actually. I don't see any stutters or hesitation, no jittery. That's perfectly acceptable in my world, definitely. This operating system in general runs off of Ubuntu, I believe, maybe Debian. I'm not sure, but it's a Debian-based operating system with the XFCE desktop, and it does come very complete, maybe more complete than some of the others. This has got a lot of different tools on it. It's got for a bunch of media players, including Strawberry, which somebody recommended as a CD burner. Thank you for that. A bunch of different built-in tools for MX tools. It has the LibreOffice suite already installed. Not all of them do. This is the first time it's firing up, so it'll be a little slower, but that's not bad. Let's close that out and give it another try. If I remember where it is, here we go. LibreOffice Writer. Yeah, that's quicker. No time at all on that. That's pretty nice. And also a nice little feature, a nice little touch here is up in the corner. You've got a time with sort of a little bit of a quick resource rundown of how much CPU you're using, how much memory you're using. That's a nice feature, and I think it blends in really nice with the desktop. Let's take a look at the desktop here real quick. I really like this logo. When you fire it up, it has a little splash screen with an animation on the logo. That's a nice touch as well. This is just a really refined and really polished edition of Linux. I think you could do a lot worse than this. It also has a presentation mode, which is kind of nice. I've had some of these operating systems fail on updates because I walk away from them, and then wouldn't you know it, the power saving settings kick in and the updates fail. This prevents that, and you can turn that on and off straight from the little taskbar that runs on the side here. That's a nice little feature. Again, it's just little touches. The Synaptic Package Manager, nothing too crazy here. Used it before, and it works very well. Oops, it would help if I did the password, I think. Let's try that again. One of the nice things about Synaptic, and we're going to see this again in other distros, is that you can actually browse through the package manager by category. So if you were looking for, editors, let's say, you would have a whole bunch to choose from here, and you wouldn't have to, start doing research on Google and figure out what's what. It would help, obviously, but you can, just a nice way to see what's available in the repository. You can, of course, add other repositories as well. You're not married to this, but it's a pretty thorough little package manager. I appreciate them including this. Let's get out of you. How much time do you think we have left? Let's see what we got here. Oh, 15 seconds. Again, this is a very polished little distribution. 30 seconds on the time from reboot to start up. That's pretty good. And I just like the look and feel of this operating system. I could run with this. Okay, our next contestant is Linux Mint running the XFCE desktop. Not a whole lot to say about Mint. If you're familiar at all with Linux, you know it and probably know it very well. Good chance you might have gotten started with Mint. It is a well-supported, solid distribution, and it's probably the most resource-dependent distro that I'm looking at today. And that already kind of showed up in the restart test I gave it. Restart from restart to login took about just a little bit under 30 seconds. And keep in mind, that's not bad at all. But it's still a little heavier than some of the distros we're looking at. Maybe Claudia might be a little stressed, if you want to call a 30-second startup time being stressed. Let's take a look at how this thing draws windows. There might be a little bit of a hitch in this. I can't really tell. I think it's not super clean, but I think this is also a junk monitor. So I'm going to say it's acceptable. Maybe a slight hitch, but super acceptable. Unless you really want to sit here and do this all day, mind you, then maybe you want to look at something else. But let's take a look at how it plays YouTube. I swear all of the views for the Windboat video did not come from me doing testing on these Lite distributions. I swear. There might be the slightest hint of a stutter on YouTube playback, maybe. But if it is, it's not bad. And I'll tell you, I have computers that are newer than this that cost 10 times more than this that play YouTube a lot worse than this. I'm looking at you, Mac trash can. All right. So maybe a little bit of a stutter, but I think that's perfectly acceptable, honestly. I can't, it wouldn't bother me that much. Let's take a look at what comes installed. And honestly, the question is really what doesn't come installed besides OBS. There's a lot of stuff here. Maybe that's why this thing boots a little slower. But this is, if you're looking for something to just install and, not worry about it, this may be a pretty good candidate for you. It comes with multimedia. You've got VLC player already. That's really handy. Hypnotics. You can watch TV. I don't know what that is. For Office, it comes with LibreOffice already installed. Kudos. I like that. And let's fire up LibreOffice and see how long it takes. That's instantaneous. What was that, 2 seconds, you think? That's hardly anything. What else do we have here? Honestly, not much else to say. Firefox is the default browser. You can add others, obviously. The Software Center. Let's take a look at software here real quick. This uses the Linux Mint Software Manager. I know it. I love it. It's nice. Very handy. It has a nice feel to it. This looks a lot like the one that's in Bazite, actually. Not much to say about this, really. It runs really well, and if someone gave me this computer and it was the only computer I could have, I would seriously consider Mint, just because there's a ton of support out there. So, yeah, Linux Mint, I would consider it, definitely. And we're out of time. Okay, our next contestant is Bodhi Linux, and I have a lot to say about Bodhi Linux. Let's go ahead and start the timer. Bodhi Linux runs on its own proprietary little desktop called Moksha or Moksha. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but I think it's beautiful. And it's kind of clever, very minimalist, and maybe an acquired taste, not for everybody, but I kind of dig it. This is just enough off of the beaten path for me to really enjoy this. The little clock up here is a nice touch. Click on it again, the calendar goes away. The only thing I really maybe don't like is the 4 desktops hanging out over here. It's nice, you can switch between them and go to your other desktop. I see the functionality, but I think they kind of mars the aesthetic for me. But the theme of green continues throughout the whole operating system. There's your file manager. It's Thunar. I like the green. I think this is a nice touch. The operating system itself is very, very slick. I don't see any issues with this at all. There's no jitter, no stutter. It looks very clean. It plays YouTube just fine. Let me maximize this guy. Again, very clean. No issues at all with this. Let me get out of this. The desktop works on this menu system. Now, the only problem I really have with this whole setup is this menu system. You have to know where your application is. Now, you can click on your screen and that menu pops up, so you don't have to go down to the corner every time. And you can right-click and add favorites, so that's very helpful too. But, just for example, one kind of caveat, when I installed LibreOffice, it didn't create that Office subcategory. I had to log out and log back in for it to generate. That was the first time I have launched LibreOffice, and that was pretty swift. Let's do it one more time just to make sure, so you get an idea of how this thing will run on your day-to-day basis. Fire it up. Yeah, very quick. Complete with tips. Let's close out of you. Now, one interesting thing about this is when you fire up your web browser, it shows that it's not default. Now, it comes with Chromium installed, but Chromium is not default, even though it's the only web browser. If you look in the settings, though, and internet here, you will find there is a web browser manager. And when you click on it, you have a ton of options for web browsers. Some of these, I don't know what they are. I don't think I've ever heard of Falcon, Waterfox, SlimJet's new to me. Some of these are old favorites like Brave. And when you click on Brave, you basically just agree to the license. You put in your password. Oops. And Brave installs. You can do this with any distro. It's obvious, you know, but you don't have to figure out. You don't have to remember where the repository is. You don't have to update it. This is just a one-click thing, and that's a nice feature. I like that a lot. And while we're at it, let's take a look at the terminal, because I think the terminal is really, really pretty. You know, look at that. I love how the graphic scales with it. I think that's super cool. I'm betting this is the Kitty terminal. I don't know for sure, but that's kind of my guess. Still very sweet and a nice touch. This is a very, very sweet operating system. Very minimalist, very clean. One thing. Like I think I mentioned, I had to install LibreOffice. This is the only distro where I had to do that. But this is also the only distro where the reboot is like 20 seconds long. From reboot to reboot to login, 20 seconds. This is way better than anything else I've tested. So kudos to the folks at Bodhi. You've really put together something very cool here. And it will run on just about any lightweight machine that you can think of. And I've got a couple of candidates I'm already thinking about to put this on already. So I don't think I can recommend this one enough. Oh, I'm over time, but I will mention this as well. Brave just successfully installed. This is the only machine that in my tests that I couldn't find when I browse the network, I don't see the TrueNAS server. It is not there. And you actually have to go in and give it, you have to go find, where is it, go and open location, and you actually have to put in the actual Samba location. I will do that real quick. Don't forget to capitalize the F. Let's see if it finds it. Oh, it would help if I put a colon in. Failed open system, couldn't find it. That's a weird little quirk. I'm pretty sure I just screwed up the command. But again, a strange little quirk. But, I'll take the bad with the good on this one, because I think there's a lot of good here. And those little obstacles can be overcome. I've already overcome it once. But again, kudos to the folks at Bodhi, and I'm way over time. Okay, the final contestant today is Linux Lite. Let's go ahead and get the timer started here. Linux Lite is a Ubuntu-based distribution with the XFCE desktop. And one couple things about this distribution, the start time on this, the restart time from when I hit the button to when I got to be able to log in was about 52 seconds. That is easily the longest of all of them. I don't know why this one is taking longer than the rest, but it is substantial. About three times longer than Bodhi, and twice as long as Mint or MX Linux. So it's kind of interesting. Once it gets started, though, it doesn't seem to really have any problems. I mean, I don't see any issues with window redrawing. This looks pretty clean to me. And when I go to YouTube and I play a video, after I get past the ads, this looks fairly clean to me. If it loads up, there we go. I don't see any stutters. I don't see any hitches in the video playback. This is perfectly acceptable, very clean. So you got that going for it, which is nice. Now, a couple of things though. This is the only one of the distros that I've looked at that ships with Google Chrome, not Chromium or any open source browser, but Chrome itself. And it's also the only one that when the default homepage is full of ads. It's got a bunch of advertisements and stuff all over it. And this is from the linuxliteos.com/search page. Go figure. I mean, it's not a huge deal, but why? Why are you guys doing it? Are you making enough money to really justify this, guys? I don't know. Just one of those weird little quirky things. Take it for what it's worth, but I figured I'd mention it. It does come with a lot of different applications installed. This is pretty ready to go right out of the box. It already had Office installed. This is one of the few, I think this is the only distro that I found that actually had GIMP installed. Why I seem to be obsessed with GIMP, I don't know. But you know what? It's one of the first things I would install on an operating system I was going to use on a daily basis. So I guess it makes sense to look for it. But yeah, it's got GIMP, and Office fires up pretty quick. Let's go find the word processor. Here we go. Yeah, fires right up. No problem at all. And as you can see, I'm already in dark mode. There was some customization that popped up and asked me if I wanted to be in dark mode, and I said, sure, I'll do that. What else do we have going on here really worth mentioning? Let's take a look. This has got Thunar. This is a nice little Thunar theme. That's cool. The terminal is kind of slick and actually gives you a little bit of resource information when you fire it up. Shows you how much memory you're using. I think this has been, I would say this is maybe a nice looking skinned bash terminal. Possibly, I don't know. But they did a nice job. The desktop itself, nice image. I like that. That's okay. Very basic, very cool. And I do like the addition of a couple of shortcuts on the desktop. That's a welcome addition. You've got a Linux Lite wiki, network thing. We've got users, control panel. That's helpful. This PC and a trash can. Yeah, I'll take that. Sure. What else should we really cover here? I think overall, this is... this would be a solid contender. I don't really have any gripes against it. Again, the reboot time was slow for some reason, but perfectly acceptable. And once it fires up, it runs just fine. There are a lot of Windows machines that wish they could open up in a minute. So Linux Lite, not a bad distro. Okay, folks, it is time for the moment of truth. It's time to find out which of these operating systems I'm going to choose for Claudia. Now, if this was Love Connection, we would have a live studio audience and they would be making their selection for the bachelor that they want her to go out with. But since I don't have that, why don't you pause the video right now and put down in the comments below what operating system you would choose for Claudia. Go ahead, I'll wait. We'll take our time here. You done? Okay, cool. Well, since it's my decision as to what operating system we're going to run with, my choice is none of the above. Now hear me out here. Hear me out. This is less about the operating systems that I looked at today and more about how capable Claudia really is. It's kind of amazing. Claudia rolled out the assembly line, 13, 14 years ago, and was designed for business purposes. And here we are in the year of our Lord 2025, 14 years later, and what's Claudia good at today? Spreadsheets, email, word processing, data entry, all of the stuff she was good at back then, she's still good at now. The only difference is Microsoft has decided she's obsolete. I beg to differ. I think Claudia is a very capable computer. And that's kind of why I think maybe, again, no offense to any of these operating systems, I want to see Claudia do better. And I've got something in mind already. Something that doesn't, it's not Debian-based, it's not Ubuntu-based, and to paraphrase Spock from Star Trek, it's a desktop, Tim, but not as we know it. And I'm going to have to maybe brush up on my keyboard shortcuts for this one. And I know somebody is watching this right now going, I know what he's going to run. I know what it is. Well, shh, don't tell anybody, okay? Keep it a secret, all right? And if you're interested in that video, please do me a favor and hit subscribe. And speaking of subscribe, we're at over 600 subscribers right now. That is
mind-boggling. I had no idea we would be at 600, like what, 5 videos in. I am over the moon about this, people. I cannot thank all of you enough for your support and your kind words in the comments. I really appreciate it. And we are going to celebrate this 600 subscriber milestone by doing something very American and something very YouTube. Namely, I'm going to spend money I don't have for content. Yes, that's right. I have a pile of parts to put into my P520. And when it's all said and done and we get it all fired up, we're going to take 2 technologies we've already looked at and mash them together and see if we can make them work. And it should work, I hope. But if you're interested in that, do me a favor and hit subscribe. Also, if you enjoy Linux dating shows, well, I don't know what to tell you. But if you enjoyed any of this weird content that we did today, please do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. It would help a lot. But that is going to do it for this episode of E-Waysted. I do appreciate you tuning in. And until next time, keep teaching those old dogs, like our girl Claudia, new tricks.